everybody, I'm Necrago, and today I will show you how I made my Minecraft Story Mode Season 3 fan-made trailer. Excuse me if I don't have too good of a mic. Yeah, I'm using what I can. Anyway, so today I'll show you how I made this creation, and also maybe give some tips on how to improve your games. So let's get into it. So here's my creation. It's got 1.5k likes and quite a few plays and a lot of very nice comments. Then let's start from the beginning. I've originally made this creation, and I didn't have in mind to create a whole trailer or game from this. As you can see, I've made most of Jesse's expressions. It's nothing too complicated. I just looked on the internet for a lot of images of Jesse with different emotes, and then you just have to create. I made one head, and then I cloned it and just changed the expression. And if you just go into one, you can see how it was made. I'm using a grid, obviously, because it's Minecraft is a game with a lot of pixels, a pixelated game, and I took the top part. Left it the same, and then I only changed this part of the mouth. If you'd make this again applies only for pixel art. If you have a game which isn't pixelated, this doesn't really apply. The eyes, just expression through eyebrows. You can just look at them and appreciate them. Those are, if not all, then most of the expressions that I used for the entire trailer. So yeah, it's not much. This took about half a day to make, maybe more, but you know, with breaks between. Okay. Because this was quite interesting, you can see that I've played around making these monstrosities. A kind of a Jesse Medusa type head, I know. And then I made this body because I've seen that there are a few people that commented some things on this, and it inspired me to make this. Again, just looked at a bunch of images on the internet, and if it can load. I don't have too good of internet here. Okay. Okay, this place is really I've collaborated with with someone else to make Jesse's voice from the trailer. These are a bunch of notes I've written and what he should say. Here is basic animation. Oh, wait. Okay. Yeah, you can see I've made the eyes move together with the eyebrows, and it's just a slideshow of its different faces. Each keyframe, each keyframe activates and makes a mouth visible, and in general, all of them are invisible. Yeah, these are the eyes and the eyebrows. I think I can also possess Jesse if I've integrated him into a character. Originally, I've made this Jesse character from a remix of Steve. You can also see that here is again the pixel art for Jesse's skin. Every part is separate and it has a texture all around. I also put an articulation at the hands and feet with different constraints, and the head just doesn't have any articulation. It just has to stay there, and yeah, just place it down. Yeah, that's about it here. You can see it's a remix of, well, I've made countless iterations, but the original was this one by Minecraft Steve by Syntronic, I think. You've probably already seen this one. It's just a classic Steve's skin with on a basic puppet. Okay. So it behaves kind of the same. The only difference is that because of the joints on my model at the hands and feet, they moved a bit more, and it made him seem more lifelike. Okay. Now this is a remix of Jesse, and I've just made a different skin for Petra, and also the head. The head is only here. Oh, for some reason she moves. Okay, that didn't happen before. Yeah, okay. I don't know why she's sliding, but anyway. Again, it's the same mouth test, just on Petra. Actually, these models took a bit more time because just the Jesse's skin, every body skin takes about a day, and every head piece with all the mouths takes another day. Assuming you don't work non-stop, obviously. So, another remix. This is the last one. I don't know if I ever used this. No, I actually did. This is actually a total remix of the of Steve, because you can see that it's his shirt, but colorized this part in green, and then with a different head. Also, when working with pixelated pixely characters, it's very important to keep a decent amount of detail while still not affecting the thermometer too much, because as you can see, just one singular character is takes up 11% of the graphics memory, and the characters with different paths take up to 20%, which means you can only have 5 characters without anything, no background, no anything, and you'd have a scene with 100%. That's also a big issue of Dreams. I find that you just have way too little thermometer space. I don't think there's a need to show this, but I mean, it's pixel art. I made it also turn orange for when you press the corresponding buttons, but that's in the level. Okay, then comes this. Yeah. Okay, so this is the kind of intro to the game. You have no idea how much making a model out of making an actual model for text takes. You have to put every single block by block, and it has to represent as best as it can the original logo, but I'm sure that this looks 100 times better than if I would just put a text gadget. Yeah, these. Okay, this is yeah. This is it's just an intro. I also I literally made everything in this whole game except for the Steve character. These grass blocks, these grass and leaf blocks. These are made by someone else. I didn't want to stay and work on this, especially when it actually looks pretty decent. But these grass blocks I've personally made, and I'll also show you the whole entire collection of blocks a bit later. This is also you see there are different skins for wait. These are grass blocks, these are just simply dirt blocks. These are cobblestone blocks, and these stone blocks. So you can already see there are 4 types of blocks in a very small space. It doesn't really seem to be so many, but I had to do every single texture by hand. Obviously it's better than doing them with no inspiration at all, because I looked on the internet to see how they all looked, but it's a very grindy task, and I just wouldn't really recommend it. I also modified the Minecraft story mode logo and made it into a logo for me. Okay, that's something else. And now on to Actually, before I get into the scenes, I also still have this palette. Nothing much to see here. Just blocks to make pixels with joints. Okay, actually, I didn't even make joints for that. But they're separated, okay. And last but not least, there's where is it? Oh. Oh, here it is. As you can see, there are a lot of creations because, well, thermometers are small, so I have to make the most with what I have. Here are all the blocks that I used in the whole trailer. Actually, so as you can see, these are not mine, and also these are not mine. I don't remember. I think I got one from another dreamer, but the other one I made myself. I think I made the sword, but I got the pickaxe from someone else. I don't really remember. This is a stone block. Special stone block. Dirt block, grass block. Okay, blocks such as these are just copies of other ones, and I've just made a different. I've just changed the texture a bit. Also, every single block is consisted of 4 sides because it's a block, of course. And there are other blocks such as the grass block that not only do they require this texture, but they also need this one, which means that they take even more time. Okay, this is the stone block, the cobblestone block. Also, all these textures are just made yeah, with little pixels like this, different colored pixels. And a thing that I used in when making this pixel art is because there are a lot of different shades. As you can see, there is a different shade right here, a different one here, different one here. These two are different. Again, you can barely notice. And other darker ones, these two are different. To get those soft nuances, I had for every block I had the color palette of different colored blocks, and then I just as you can wait. You can see in this, just in this pixel, there are multiple blocks. So that to get that nuance, I made I put the 2 darker blocks and a lighter block to get it just a little darker. Obviously, this might not be the most efficient method. It does get the best result, but it might not be so good for the thermometer. The crafting table has been one of the worst blocks because, as you can see, this side is different to this side, and also different to this side. So compared to the cobblestone block that only needs one side, which is the same on all 6, this one required of me to make 3 different sides. And also this is a remix of the regular oak planks texture. Also there is this log texture. I'm also going to go a little bit faster because, well, I don't think you really want to see every little texture for every single block. This is a modification of the oak log block to make this fence post, also a torch. It's I also managed to make in the original texture. On one side it's one color, and on the other side of the pixel it's a different color, and they're just slightly off center, so on one side it would show one color and on the other another. This is the Order of the Stone Amulet. It's yeah, just yeah, nothing much to see. This is has been very helpful that I have been able to make one. I have made one texture for the wall for all 6 sides, and then I just went into the sculpture menu and I've changed the color, and that has helped me make so many blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 blocks almost instantly. You know, after making the texture. Also, same goes for the glow. I think it was for the redstone lamp. Just made one side and then colored the rest. A small difference is that, as you can see, the border is black on all of them, and only the colored parts glow. I can't show it here, but yeah, you can. As you can see, they glow because they're redstone lamps. They're lamps after all. For this, for every side, a side has actually 2 sides. There's this and this. And I've kept this the same and then changed the color on this one. And yeah, it does look pretty cool inside though. Anyway, let's keep going. My personal favorite is the red one. Or I wish these existed in the original Minecraft. And this is also a remix of the oak planks texture with holes and slightly different colors on some blocks, and this took as much as 3 textures of 3 block textures. This took so much time to make. This took what, 4 hours or something, just because you have to nail every single different gradient, different color. And there's also the glass block, which it's pretty simple. It's just a glass, just a few blocks, and also a text box. Yeah, that's actually been it for the blocks. It's for just the trailer. It's a lot of work. Originally, I thought of also making an actual game, and I definitely can, because as you can see, I have a lot of blocks, and already I have 2 characters and a zombie. Okay, and I did start working on the first place of the game. I've also added the quartz half slab, and you can also make a quartz block out of this. It looks pretty good. Yes, this is Minecraft, the logo and everything. I've mostly added these over here to see how much thermometer space all of these things combined take, and it's yeah, it's 100%. So I didn't even have place to put the zombie. So this is basically when I realized that if I want to make a possible Minecraft Story Mode Season 3, it's not possible in Dreams, no, at least not yet. But, you know, maybe they might increase the thermometer size. I might come back to this. Now, if you're still here, thanks for being here, and actually don't know why I have two of these. Okay, this is the first part of the trailer. I'll show you after it loads. Okay. Now this is the cave I made. Okay, I know it's got a hole. It was originally a remix of all these blocks, so I can have all of them here. On the outside it looks kind of weird, but you know, never mind that. Also, to save space, I had to okay, theoretically I didn't even need this left part, but I saved a lot of space because instead of using full blocks, okay, just like here, I saved a bunch of space because, as you can see, I clearly needed it by deleting some faces, and I actually made that quite a bit. You can't really see, but it's most of these blocks are kind of fake blocks. Okay, this is the I have yeah, so there are a bunch of timelines here. It has been quite a while since I last came here, so I don't really remember what everything did. This is I remember this is part of the start and the end of the cutscenes when you don't do anything. And this is the part where you can choose to just straight up die, fight, or run away. It's it takes a lot of time, and you know, because it's a choice game and people can choose to do a certain thing and not do the rest. It's kind of sad that you work a lot on something and people only get to see one choice. Okay, you can replay it. I've noticed and I've kind of expected that most people play this fighting, because sure, why wouldn't they? And yeah, these haven't been used quite as much. It's sad. But, this is the intro. Oh, wait. This is... You can actually see that it's a Jesse here. He's kind of invisible. That's also because I had to change between the animated Jesse for the cutscene and the actual playable character for the Jesse, and I'll show you why. this part is with nothing because there's you can see this camera is moving. Okay. As you can see, there was a small kind of transition. Yeah, okay. So there was a small a small change between this Jesse and this invisible one, which you can't see but is having some strange behavior. In edit mode, you can't see the game in exactly how it'll look while playing it. As you can see, he doesn't have a mouth. That's because the mouth's existence is only activated during or when a certain part of a timeline plays. And while right now it's paused and you can't, and because it's paused, it's not playing, so there's no mouth showing. These zombies are they're just going towards Jesse. Okay. It's kind of loud, but this part you can choose what to do. There's the part where you can choose to fight with them, to run past them, or if you want, you can just you can just wait for the timer to stop, and that will trigger the fail animation. Okay. What did this do? Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that was okay, this should have been the camera angle, so it should have looked better, but as you can see, these are kind of fake zombies. These stay here. It's easier to just let them here while you just spawn a few zombies when the camera is, because you can't see in this camera angle these zombies. Obviously you could you could just, to save up space, you could get rid of these two zombies, and I'm not too good at animation, but the reason for why I did this is when you have a character with an animation on a timeline, and well, you transition from from a keyframe to the other, and that makes the animation. But when you go from timeline to timeline, you can't transition from one another. And I've originally tried to place a keyframe for these zombies to go from here to here, and it's this amount of space. But because originally the zombies, you can't see them, but originally the zombies come from the zombies spawn right here, which is a greater distance. So instead of moving that little space, they would have gone back to their origin location and just, I don't know, I really hope that they either tweak a few things, media molecule, or just improve the animation system. It's workable in this state, but it's definitely not nice. Also, I found a cobweb block. I found a cobweb and just turned it into a block. Yeah. You don't look at the ceiling, so there's no use for there for there to be too much detail. Also, a bit of detail. There's really just nothing if you want to make a movie or just cutscenes. It's not okay. It's not really too hard. This place is it's a bit of a mess because, well, I didn't clean up after myself, and there's also different possibilities for me to choose from, different choices. So that means that there are even more timelines, and it just gets to be a mess. I'm not bad at coding, or just, but I'm not too good either. So originally, I mean, these counters and timers get the job done to sequence up the to play these timelines when they should be. They probably could be made cleaner, but yeah, this really doesn't have to make sense because, you know, it's a lot, and yeah, well, it's going to be a lot, but when you're actually making the animations and putting the bits of logic that you need, you're just gonna put what you need, and it's just gonna grow over time, and you're not even gonna realize it, and you don't know from the start how big the project is gonna be. I've also had projects that were huge, and I've got them to a state that they kind of work and that they're kind of playable. It's also kind of impossible to add new features. Or right now, after I've made a break of a few months after making this project, it's gonna be either really hard or almost impossible to modify something without breaking it, because I just forgot what I did. So a good big tip that I would give is always organize your any bit of logic. This is okay. This I have left open because it's the main timeline. But like, as you can see, there are just microchips all over the place. It was just a singular keyframe. It didn't even need that. Yeah. So just keep your things tidy in microchips. It's yeah, I kind of forgot where they are. You can probably tell that I haven't played games in a while. I've been busy with other stuff, so just keep things organized, name your microchips, and you'll be good. Yeah, that's about it to say from here. And the last part is this. It's the second part of the trailer. This is the view from this camera.
Hi everyone, I'm Jesse. I'm the main character from the game Minecraft Story Mode. Even though my voice isn't what it used to be, I'm here to tell you about the new game series about me. And don't forget, choices that you make can have surprisingly large impacts. This story is more powerful than you think. So, I hope you're ready for this, because I am. See you soon!
Hi!
Okay. And this was the second part, well, most of the second part of my trailer. Yeah. And this part is actually in inspired, or it's really just a recreation of the behind the scenes that from the Minecraft Story Mode Season 2, the official one. You can see there's this place right here with a green screen. These chairs with a green screen in the back. Then there's this table with parrots. This place with objects, and this place for actors to prepare themselves. I don't know. And I'm actually gonna put the I'm actually gonna show now a bit of how the original looks.
Oh, hi! Hey, thanks for choosing to save me. The people behind the scenes at Telltale have asked me to talk to you for a little bit about the whole making choices thing in this game, and how every one of them affects the story you experience. So, anyway, by choosing to save me, it means my feelings about your loyalty and our friendship are really good. I was gonna say that your depth perception isn't what it used to be, but you gotta admit, that thing makes you look pretty awesome.
I guess. I still don't know why they chose you. Oh, I shouldn't have said anything.
So yeah, this I really don't know what to say here. This is the audio track from the Jesse's voice. A few keyframes for I don't know. I think it's some parrots moving, and then this is it. This is the animation. It's semi-long. I don't know. I've seen bigger things. This is just Petra's movement, and this is everything Jesse does. Okay, as you can see, there are a lot of keyframes. This is because it's every line is for something. This line is for I remember that this line is for mouth movements, so that when he talks, and he actually talks quite fast, and I hope I did a decent job at putting the right types of mouth for the right types of words that he says. Then there's other things such as eyes and eyebrows and just general body movement with hands, camera shaker. I don't know. Oh, this is just to make it more interesting. It gently moves the camera if you notice. It moves it very slightly. Just to add a bit more depth to the animation. Yeah, this also, this place is also almost completely full. Yeah, there's not much advice I can really give in animation, because, well, actually this project has been the first project in which, actually it's been the second project in which I've tried to do animation. As with character models and just workflow, I've already told you, and it's really just tedious. Okay, this just recreating a whole entire scene was it was really for fans, I guess, and just for fun. There's not in this part. There's no gameplay. It was in the first part, that when you could choose something. It's really it is a trailer, but you could consider it as a demo, as what could be done. Because I could do small parts such as this one and the one before, just and just link them together and make a big game. The only thing is that it takes a lot of time and work for just a fan-made project. And I did all of these assets, also the carpets, yeah, with the wool texture. All these assets I've made, I really hope to make something bigger, but it just I was completely burnt out after I've made all of this. Also, if you see the ground, to save more space, the ground is only one plane thick. It's not a full block. And under here as well. Yeah, so that's really mostly about it. I probably really just dragged it on way longer than it should have been. I probably should have made a 10-minute video. This is really just an in-depth look at all the work that I've made. There are quite a bunch of them. Yeah. There are all these are all the scenes that consists of that create my game. Yeah. And these are, yeah, little things. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I also hope you learned something. I'm really not an expert. This is I've been working on this for a long time. I wish I would have worked in a team. Also, if you can, it's way better to work in a team because everyone can kind of work at what they're best at, and in the end, you can bring together all of your work and see what you've created. Also, if you want, feel free to check all my other games. This was the first game I made. It's decent. It's kind of also, yeah, I've had a few animations in this place. It's just kind of a playable demo again. That's really just what most people do in Dreams. This is also some other project I have. They're just a bunch. I recommend for you to try out some of these. I've worked a lot at all of them, and anyway, I hope you enjoyed. That's it about it, yeah. So I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you want to see more of this. Maybe behind the scenes at another game that I've made, or maybe even to show some of my projects that I haven't completed. I think I have about 3 or 4. I could definitely make a compilation of those. Yeah, that's about it. Or maybe, and also stick around if you want. I'll be I'll be showing on this channel a project I'm currently working on. It's not in Dreams, but it's still game development, so I'm going to do a some sort of reveal. So if you like something like that, stick around and I'll see you next time.